Okay, hello everybody. Happy Sunday night. Let's continue with our Great Ace Attorney Adventures, case number 5, final case. We're on the second part, which I guess is technically the third part. Second stream. You get the idea. We'll see what happens. Bang, bang. Oh! I'll be alright, Mr. Naruto. After them, go. Did her luck behind that door in the storeroom? Hurry! Oh. Oh no. Oh no. It's Gina. Gina, what'd you do? They were trying to open the chest. From that moment, Windybank's pawnbrokery became a crime scene. Everything that followed happened in a whirlwind of activity. The arrival of the police, the preliminary investigation of the scene, and the questioning. It was just before dawn before I was allowed back to my lodgings at 221 Baker Street. "16th of April, 6:21 a.m., Naruhodo Legal Consultancy." Oh, Iris.
A telegram came, but all it says was, "Wait at home."
Oh, yeah, we asked one of the policemen to have it sent. It was simply impossible to come back.
When I woke up, I was all alone. Hurley and Gina were gone. Everyone was gone. What happened, Bruno?
Poor Iris, she's trembling. She's obviously trying very hard not to let herself get too worried. I'll explain everything that I know.
Something awful has happened, hasn't it?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. I'm sorry to have to tell you this, Iris, but Gina is dead. Oh, sorry, not Gina. He was shot. We discovered it in the early hours of the morning.
Huh? Oh, yes, I had a feeling.
You did?
Well, I saw all those police carriages pulling up outside his shop, so I knew something must have happened there.
Oh.
When we entered
Windybanks in the small hours, we disturbed a gang of 2 thugs. They ran out of the street, and I chased after them, but they got away.
So it was one of them who shot Mr. Windybank, I suppose?
I don't know, but that's not what the police believe at the moment.
Oh, why not?
They've arrested someone else as their prime suspect, you see. Gina.
Ginny? But why?
Well, the thing is...
No, Ginny wouldn't do something like that.
I know. None of us think she did it.
Then why have they arrested her?
I'm sorry, there was nothing I could do.
So where's Hurley then? Is he still investigating the scene? He really ought to have some breakfast. It's not good for him to miss his meals.
I don't want you to worry, Iris, but I have some news about Mr. Sholmes.
Ah?
He was taken to the hospital this morning.
What?
Well, when we entered Windybanks, a gun was fired, and he took a bullet.
Hurley? Was shot? No.
It's all right. His life isn't in danger.
Really? Are you sure? Where is he? Which hospital?
He's at St. Sinners. They're tending to him there.
I must see him at once.
I'm so sorry, Iris, but you can't.
Why not? That's not fair. I'm a family member. I should be allowed.
No, I mean, nobody can see him at the moment. He's not allowed any visitors. They're preparing to operate, you see.
To operate? Oh, poor Hurley.
It was the 2 thugs who were in Mr. Windybank's shop. They shot Mr. Holmes when we disturbed them, you see. It was pitch black in the shop at the time. My mind went totally blank, I'm afraid. I just froze. After them! Go! After that, I ran out into the street, but, well, they were long gone. I shouldn't have hesitated. I'm so sorry, it's my fault. I let them get away.
I think that's a very good thing.
Sorry?
Well, if you'd seen which way they went and chased after them, you might have been shot as well, Runo. On top of everything else, I couldn't bear that.
Oh, Iris.
Where's Susie, Runo?
She's still at the police station.
Oh, why?
I expect she's still being questioned. The police said they wouldn't be finished for a while.
Why aren't you there then?
Well, I didn't get a good look at the criminals anyway, so they weren't questioning me for long. And Miss Usato stayed behind at the scene to tend to Mr. Sholmes, so they didn't get started until later.
Ah, I see.
Besides, one of us had to come back to be with Iris. I'm glad Inspector Gregson agreed to me leaving early.
You should have let me know, and I would have come to the station. I don't understand why they arrested Ginny. It's not fair. What about the two thugs that were at the scene? Why aren't they the prime suspects? After all, they shot Hurley dead, didn't they?
No, I mean, Mr. Sholmes isn't dead, Iris.
Ah, this is also horrible.
The thing is, Mr. Windybank was found on the floor of the storeroom where he keeps all his deposited articles, and the storeroom door was locked from the inside.
I see.
But he wasn't alone in there. Gina was found next to him on the floor as well.
Oh no!
And according to the detectives who investigated afterwards...
Don't tell me. There was no one else in the room.
Yes, exactly. How did you know?
It's the only explanation.
Yeah, the only explanation indeed.
What do you mean by that, Runo? Well?
What can I say? If I'm damned if I agree, damned if I'm not. If I don't. I'm afraid I'll need to go out again now, Iris. There's not much I can do at the moment. But I can at least try to find out how Mr. Sholmes and Gina are getting on.
I want to go too. Take me with you, Runo. I can't just stand sitting around here waiting.
I'm not sure how I feel about taking a 10-year-old child to the scene of a murder, but I don't want to leave her all alone here either. All right then, Iris. Perhaps you can help me.
Oh yes, I'd love to.
Gina's at the prison. Mr. Sholmes is probably in the hospital bed.
And don't forget, we have to visit the crime scene. We need to conduct a thorough investigation.
I can see you're ready for action. I imagine Iris would appreciate going to the hospital sooner rather than later. Okay. Let's go to the hospital then. "16th of April, St. Sinners Hospital, Ward number 3.
Hurley! Oh.
He's not here. No, that's strange. The nurse definitely said he was in the bed by the window, didn't she?
Oh, I know what's probably happened. Hurley was being a big baby, and the bullet wound wasn't that bad after all, so he's been sent home.
I'm not so sure about that, baby or not. There's no question it was fairly serious injury Mr. Sholmes suffered. Mr. Sholmes suffered?
Oh.
Hello, what do we have here? This ward is off limits, no visiting, so what you doing here, eh?
Well, I'll have you know, we're Hurley's next of kin.
Eh? Oh, well, begging your pardon then, ma'am, sir. A little lady and a curious Eastern gentleman. The great mystery solver has mysterious family, eh?
If that's how you see us, I'm sure.
Where is he, Constable? Where's Hurley?
I believe he's currently in the operating theatre, ma'am, undergoing an extensive operation.
Extensive?
It has been several hours since he went in.
Oh dear, is he going to be all right?
Well, it doesn't appear to be working, you see. The anaesthetic, that is.
Oh!
I have heard a report that gentleman claims he may have a little bit too much to drink last night. Coffee, that is. Anyway, I think it would be fair to assume that he won't be back here for several hours yet.
I see. Thank you, Constable. Perhaps we should leave and come back later.
Oh, poor Hurley.
Oh, maybe. Let's see what the note says. No? Can't examine it? There's a notice board on the wall there. Look, let's see. What does it say? Thought of the day. On seeing any vermin, calmly and discreetly inform matron.
Oh, yes, there are rats and mice in hospitals like this that love to feast on all the medicine. If you don't deal with them, there's nothing left to treat the patients.
Rats and mice? Oh, I see. This is a rather old building, I suppose.
But the doctors and nurses are all very good, I hear.
I certainly hope so, for Mr. Sholmes' sake. Okay. Alright, let's go to the prison then.
Let's go to the prison then.
To say Gina. "16th of April, local prison cell 13. Hello, Gina. What are you doing, Gina?
Oh, you still have the grenade launcher Hurley and I made.
I wish you wouldn't point it at me all the time, though.
What are you here for? Ginny,
I have a feeling that that's because you've ended up in trouble. So we're thinking that we might be able to help you.
Oh? Well, you can't.
Sorry?
You, Ed, get lost. Don't be like that, Ginny. I know you didn't do it. You'd never shoot someone. I just know you wouldn't. You think you know me? Pull the other one. Oh. You ain't got the first idea about the likes of me. I'm a thief. I pinch people's purses when they're walking down the street. That's how I get by. And if I saw me chance, I'd sneak into a pawn shop any day of the week. Just to see what could lay me hands on, okay? That's the kind of person I am. But Ginny, I'll be in court tomorrow, they say. Some cove came before me and said he'd be a lawyer for me and the like. Said he was my rights or something. But I told him to get stuffed. I don't need no lawyer, I don't need no one.
She couldn't be staring at me anymore, obviously, if she tried.
Why are you being like this, Ginny?
I don't understand, Gina. Why did you send the public defender away?
He wanted me to sign some papers, representation of papers or something like that. It's all going to be rigged anyway, the whole trial. They'll pin it on me because I'm a kid. That's what grown-ups always do. Why would you think that? Because that's how it's been for me growing up in the back slums me whole life. If you do what grown-ups tell you, it'll get your mates dragged off by the coppers, or worse. I've had it happen to me before and all. Been sold out and nearly snaffed on the back of it. You can't trust no one, that's the point. Soon as you do, you's going to grass. Dead.
Gina, listen. If you like, in tomorrow's trial, I could...
Forget it. Ginny. Don't you trust Runo? Nah, I don't. Oh. Look, I'll ask you nicely now. Just leave me alone.
Cool music. Will you tell us what happened, Gina? Last night at the pawnbrokers?
There's nothing to tell. I figured he'd pay me, so I broke into the place and started going through the storeroom. But that old bloke walked in on me, and you know the rest.
I do not know the rest.
But why, Ginny? Why would you do that? Ain't it obvious the place is full of stuff I could sell for a shilling or two? Diving ain't easy, you know. It's a lot of work, and half the time you don't even get nothing.
Is that really why you broke into the place?
What?
Are you sure the true reason wasn't something else?
Oh, give it a rest. What would be the point anyway, eh? Nothing I could say would make a blind bit of difference. Please tell us, Ginny. We believe you, whatever it is. Believe me? Don't be daft. You can't believe nothing. Everyone lies all the time. And you know what? When it comes to liars, I'm the biggest of the lot. I've I've told some unforgivable lies, I have. What do you mean by that? What unforgivable lies?
Uh-oh. What did you mean before, Gina, when you said you were the biggest liar of the law? Why don't you tell us what these unforgivable lies you told are? Maybe we can help.
Sorry. We're out of time. They're gonna want to question me now. Ginny, please. Oh, yeah. I wanted to give you this. Something to remember me by.
Oh, really?
Kitty.
A photographic print of a really adorable cat.
I found it in one of the top pockets of this coat. Ain't no point in me having it. I wonder what a little photograph like that was doing in the pocket of that overcoat. Anyway, don't bother coming again. Bye. Oh, Ginny.
The white cat photograph has been entered into the court record. Alright. But what is this?
It's a kitty. It's a very cute one.
This is an adorable little cat. I think it looks a little like Wagahai. I always thought that cats like to curl up inside under heated kotatsu blankets when it snowed. Maybe British cats are different. Sussy. Look at the back of this print here. There's something written on it.
13th of February, 9 p.m. Article deposited, 1 small box. Loan amount paid, 10 shillings. Redemption deadline, 13th of April, 9 p.m.
So this photographic print is redemption ticket.
13th of February, that could be significant. It was just 2 days before the murder on the omnibus, wasn't it?
A small box. That doesn't tell us much about it, does it?
Bruno, if Mr. McGilded still had the ticket, then presumably he never redeemed the article. So do you think the box might still be present somewhere in the shop?
Yeah. If it is something McGilded deposited, we need to investigate. Alright then, let's go investigate. Windy Bank Pawnbroker. 16th of April. Windy Bank's Pawnbroker. There's a lot of bobbies.
This is where it happened, then? Last night?
That's right. 2 thugs I told you about were obviously ransacking the place looking for valuables.
But apart from the policeman in here, you wouldn't know anything had happened. There's no sign of a disturbance.
No, you're right about that, actually.
In fact, if anyone at the police would have seen the ones doing the ransacking...
I know what you mean. They're like a gang of organized criminals all dressed in black.
Oi, I heard that.
Bop bop. Oh, Inspector, good morning.
I suppose I ought to thank you for your vigilance last night. We got to the scene before it was disturbed at least. Shame you let the 2 rogues get away, mind?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
I thought you'd assigned extra men to beat around here, Gregsy. Now look what's happened. Ollie's been injured because you weren't enough police on duty.
Your ladyship. No one told me you were coming.
I expect you to take full responsibility for what happened to Hurley and see he has the very best medical care.
Oh, of course, your ladyship. The very best doctors in the capital attending you as we speak.
And you don't think it's Runo's fault that the rogues managed to get away, is it? Chasing criminals is the police job.
Absolutely, your ladyship. As you say, ma'am, as you say. The jet in the black is totally blameless. Everyone's in agreement about that.
Would you believe it? He's like a completely different person with Iris. Talk about a personality change.
Oh, where are me manners? Are you thirsty, your ladyship? Perhaps you'd like some juice? Some nice, refreshing fruit juice?
Oh, why? Are you thirsty, Gregsy? I have some many special herbal tea with me if you'd like some.
Ah, lovely. Ta very much. That really hit the spot, your ladyship.
I don't even recognize him like this. So, how's the investigation going, Inspector?
Nothing to see really to it. Very simple case. There's some very definitive evidence. We're just about to charge that diver we arrested last night, in fact.
Gina, you're going to charge her?
That's right. Should be able to bring her before the judge and the bailey tomorrow.
Definitive evidence, you say? What is it? Come on, show me.
Your ladyship, as much as I wish to, I could oblige you, I'm afraid.
I see. You've already captured the pair of thugs who broke in here last night, have you?
What the?
And you're going to put them on the stand as witnesses, are you?
How could you... How could you possibly know that?
I had a feeling, that's all.
Remind me never to try to keep a secret from Iris. So you've arrested the two men who shot Mr. Sholmes, have you?
Well, yes. They were rounded up pretty quickly by the lads on the beat.
And Miss Lestrade being held at prison?
She should be. That's assuming she hasn't lifted the key from the jailer, of course.
So rude. Why do you think it was her? Can you tell us anything about Mr. Sholmes? What's his condition?
Sorry, I'm not at liberty to divulge that information. Scotland Yard matters are strictly confidential.
Well, I know he's being operated on at St. Sinner's. Why can't I see him? I'm family, you know.
I'm terribly sorry, your ladyship. It's the hospital's policy. No visiting at all.
Oh.
The bullet must have hit an artery in his midrib. He's lost a fair bit of blood.
Oh, no.
He didn't seem too bad in the first hour or so, but a hemorrhage like that is enough to make even one and only Sholmes pipe down.
Mr. Sholmes is human like the rest of us, you know.
Well, anyway, he's having emergency surgery right now. They gotta stop the bleeding.
But he will be all right, won't he? They'll be able to make him better.
Of course, your ladyship. He'll be as right as rain before you know it.
Really? How do you know?
How do I know? Well, because, of course. Ah, yes, because Mr. Sholmes is such a great detective, that's why.
We better pray the doctors had a better grasp of what's needed to make someone well again.
Oh dear, please don't die early.
I'll report to your ladyship the moment I hear he's out of the operating theatre.
I couldn't help noticing, Inspector.
What? Out with it, sunshine.
Well, there seems to be a marked difference between the way you talk to me and Iris.
What's the sauce, sonny? I'm a copper. We don't go into for favoritism.
But he's right, you do treat us differently.
Oh. It's 'cause of those adventures at Sherlock Sholmes stories, that's why.
Oh?
I crop up in 'em, don't I, Inspector Tobias Gregson?
Oh, well, yes, because you're an acquaintance of Hurley's.
What did you write about the inspector, Iris?
I don't remember, really.
It was one of Sholmes' lines. Gregson is as smart as the Scotland Yarders, is how he put it.
Oh, did I write that?
And you know what that online did for me, eh? The very next month my pay double, I tell you.
Oh, that's amazing.
All because everyone at the Yard reads them. They all read Sherlock Sholmes stories. They're even set up in a fan club for me.
Of course, that explains everything. It was around that time he became such a toady to me.
Can you blame me? All it would take is one bad word from you and Sholmes could change his tune about me. Gregson? No. The great detective will say, he's getting quite overrated these days. To think that would happen to my salary if that came out in print, eh? The whole thing gives me the willies. I can't tell you how many nights of sleep I've lost worrying about it.
But that would never happen, Gregsy.
Every month when the new Rights magazine comes out, my hands are trembling as I turn the pages.
Oh, how awful for you. Here, have some of my tea to settle your nerves.
Oh, 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 oh. Lovely. Very much that really hit the spot, your ladyship.
Teetotal.
Oh, yeah, there's something I was supposed to talk to you about actually, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes, what is it?
I've got an important message for you. I clean forgot about it until now.
An important message? I wonder what it could be. Are you going to tell me what this important message is then, Inspector?
Yeah, it's about that young lady who's normally by your side, your assistant.
Dear Susie, is she all right?
She's at the station, isn't she? Being questioned, I believe?
Nope, not anymore. She had to head off.
Head off? Where?
To Lord Strongheart's office, of course. He summoned her.
Ah, yes, of course. I'd forgotten about that.
One of the whipstocks took her in the yard carriage after we finished questioning her. But she asked us to tell you she didn't have the fare for the return journey and to go and meet her there. She's got a nerve using Scotland Yard as a blooming messaging service.
I see. Well, thank you for passing that on, Inspector.
Why did Susie have to go see Lord Chief Justice?
She didn't tell me. But I better head over to the Lord Chief Justice's office to fetch her straight away. Okay. Let's go. Let's go. Bum ba 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 bum bum.
April 16th, registering court, Lord Chief Justice office.
Yes. No matter how many times I come here, I always get the same sense of oppressiveness somehow.
Do you think the place is oppressive? I think it's normal.
How so?
I mean, look at the suit of armor over there. You can't take that seriously, can you?
Maybe it thinks the same about you.
So everything is clear with regard to tomorrow's arrangements, I trust?
Yes, thank you very much.
There they are, Susato and Lord Strongheart.
I wonder what they're talking about. They both look very serious.
Very good. There is nothing further to discuss. You may return to your lodgings. No doubt you have much to do in preparation for a return to your homeland.
Huh? Wait, what did he just say? You return to your homeland? Susato-san?
Oh, Mr. Naruhodo?
What was that all about?
Mr. Naruhodo, thank you for coming to collect your colleague.
What's this all about? Why were you just talking about Miss Susato's return to her homeland? And, tomorrow?
Tomorrow? But what about Ginny's trial? You mean... she's been formally charged now? Oh dear.
What is going on here? Miss Susato, what's all this about?
Oh, please don't concern yourself, Mr. Naruhodo. It's only me going back to Japan. Your life here can continue just as it has.
That's not what I asked.
Huh?
What happened? Why are you leaving?
It's my father. He's fallen ill. Oh no!
Professor Mikotoba?
If I may.
Yes, sorry.
You must be the defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I believe.
Yes, that's right.
My name is Eugene Mikutoba. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yume University. We received an international telegram from the Empire of Japan informing us of the news.
10 days ago, Father collapsed with a fever. The cause is apparently unknown. And it seems he grows weaker day by day. I don't believe it.
As you are aware, the voyage from here to your country's capital, Tokyo, takes some 50 days. I thought it would be prudent to hasten Miss Usato's departure as much as possible.
Yes, absolutely. I will leave London first thing tomorrow morning. I can't believe this is happening. So Gina has been charged? She'll have to appear in court? Yes, she was formally charged a few hours ago, and the date of the trial has already been set for tomorrow. No, not even 24 hours later?
Gina, the Lestrade girl and the murder of Baker Street pawnbroker, yes. An all too conspicuous case. The pickpocket was clearly disturbed mid-robbery and shot the man in panic. No, the art is overstretched as it is without wasting time on these open and shut cases.
It's not wasting time. Ginny would never do something like that.
Mr. Naruhodo?
Yes, Lord Strongheart.
In deference to your fine services to date, I shall overlook this young girl's insolence. But I have no recollection of admitting a child into my office. Leave now.
Of course, Lord Strongheart.
Criminals who tell most palpable lies in order to evade justice. The police can ill afford time it takes to unravel all their untruths. Meanwhile, more crimes are perpetuated. We have far more serious matters to which to contend.
Serious matters? Didn't Gregson mention something like that yesterday? Yes, Inspector Gregson made a similar remark yesterday.
It's no concern of yours, though I'm sure I need not remind you of that. Yes. I'm evil. You can tell. 3 minutes precisely until my next meeting. You must excuse me.
There's just one more thing, Lord Strongheart.
Which is?
It's Miss Lestrade's trial. I wonder if you might permit me to defend her.
A timely suggestion.
Sorry.
The girl currently has no representation.
But that's not fair. Yes, she may be a pickpocket, but she still deserves a fair trial.
Do not misunderstand me, young lady. The government provides for those too poor to afford representation with a public defender. The accused need only sign the relevant paperwork, and a defense barrister will be assigned to the case. However, the young girl in question has refused that right.
Why would she do that?
A question you would do well to direct to Miss Lestrade. You'll find her at the local prison.
Yes, thank you.
Now then, it's time I was leaving. Good day to you.
He's so evil. What a day. Gina charged with murder. Susato-san about to leave.
Come, Mr. Naruhodo, Iris. We must make haste. But, Susie... You're leaving for Japan tomorrow morning, aren't you? Don't you have packing and things to do?
As Mr. Hardo's judicial assistant, my personal circumstances are of no consequence. My sole purpose remains to help you in whatever way I can. Thank you, Miss Usato. That's a very pensive look.
I think we ought to visit Gina first. In any case, I would like to wish her well before I leave. Yes, that sounds like a good idea. Let's go.
If I'm honest, this has completely thrown me off. I'll just have to do what I can as a lawyer.
Okay.
Prisión. Prisión.
th of April, local prison cell number 13.
Oh.
Hello again, Gina.
Oh, I've locked and loaded. Buddy, get away from me, rapist. What are you lot here for now?
To have the muzzle of this grenade launcher shoved in our faces again, obviously.
I think I need to improve the way you load your ammunition into that thing, don't I? Look, you can come as many times as you like, but I ain't got nothing more to say to you. Gina, I wonder if you might hear me out. There's something I'd like to say. What? I'm sorry to say that I must reluctantly bid you farewell. Eh? Farewell? Tomorrow I must begin my journey back home to Japan. I fear we may never meet again. Oh, right. I've had the pleasure of meeting so many lovely people here in London. I have so many wonderful memories. And yet, as things stand now, it will be a glum parting indeed. Poor Iris, so miserable. Susie. Well, that ain't my business. Both Iris and Mr. Naruhodo believe you to be innocent, Gina. They put their faith in you. But somehow, you can't find it in your heart to put your faith in them. Yeah, that's right, I can't. What of it? It grieves me, really, to have to say goodbye to my friends when they're all so clearly unhappy. Because of you. What? It's my fault? Yes, so I have one final request, Gina, before our paths never cross again. Right here and now, I want to show both of them that you don't deserve the faith they've invested in you. Eh? Only by doing that will you truly be as alone as you claim to be. Eh? What are you talking about? What do you expect me to do, eh? You've told us that everyone lies. So prove it by admitting one of your own untruths. What about what you said the night before, Ginny? You said something about unforgivable lies. So you must tell Mr. Naruhodo and Iris the truth now. That is my last request before I leave. My last request is a judicial assistant. No, I can't. Whatever these lies are, they're obviously weighing very heavily on Gina's mind. Gina, I could be wrong, but is it something to do with what happened 2 months ago? Something about the trial? The one in which Magnus McGilded was acquitted? Oh! The case of that mysterious murder that took place inside the omnibus. You were called as a witness by the prosecution. Is that what this is about? Oh, yeah, you're right. Because in that trial, I lied like you wouldn't believe. Huh? Will you tell us about it now? Oh. Like you say, it all happened 2 months ago. The coppers got hold of me and shoved me in the witness stand. And based on your testimony, Mr. McGilded was declared innocent. Yeah, well, the thing is, I lied about a whole bunch of stuff. I knew it. What sort of thing did you lie about? Oh, I was hiding under the seat that night. That was the truth. It was pitch black in that little cubby hole. I couldn't see a thing. And then... oh, I heard that loud thud like someone falling on the floor. And that's when Mr. McGilded discovered you? Yeah. He pulled me out from under the seat and sat me next to the dead man. There wasn't much light to see by, but when I looked at my hands, I had a cub's blood all over them. I was so scared I couldn't even speak. You had this blood on your hands, in other words? Was Gina that witness on the roof saw through the skylight? Then, Mr. McGilded started asking you questions, I suppose. Who you were and why you were hiding under the seat. Yeah, he did. Only, that's not all. What do you mean? I mean, he threatened me. Threatened you how? He made me swear about what I'd seen and what I'd heard. And about what was going to do after the cove was found dead. He made me swear I wouldn't tell no one about any of it. If I did that, he said he'd let me scrape it before the coppers showed up.
Gina, you must tell me what he swore you to secrecy about. What you saw, what you heard, everything.
Oh.
You said McGilden make you swear not to tell anybody what you saw. But you were in the pitch black compartment under the seat the whole time, weren't you?
Yes,
With Mr. McGilden sitting up your head, if I remember correctly.
yeah, that's true, but it was when I heard the thud of the cove hitting the floor, I let out a little scream, couldn't help it. McGilden heard that and dragged me out by me arm, and that's when I saw it. It was on the floor next to the old geezer what had been stabbed. A disc, all bright and shiny.
Disc? Do you mean...
Yeah, that's it. The one that the D took off me at Windybanks.
So the music box disc was there on the floor of the omnibus?
Not for long, McGilden spotted it straight away. He picked it up smartish and stuffed it inside his pocket.
So that disc was in the omnibus 2 months before at the scene of Mr. Mason's murder.
And that bog trotter told me if I want to mutter a word of it to no one.
Oh, really?
'Cause it was so dark under the seat in the cab, I was straining me ears the old time. After a while, I heard his door and footsteps inside the cabin.
Presumably that was when McGilden was getting on board.
Nah, not only him.
Oh?
'Cause I could definitely make out the footsteps of two people.
Huh. In that case, it would seem likely that was Mr. McGilden and the victim. Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason. In his testimony during the trial, Mr. McGilden claimed he slept during the carriage ride.
But whenever I'm in a carriage, I'm taken with a fierce tiredness. I always succumb to it.
And your own testimony, Gina, supported his.
All I could hear was the Irishman snoring. Yeah, that wasn't exactly true. Neither of them was asleep. I could hear them talking the whole time in low voices.
What? What were they talking about?
Sorry, I don't know. The sound of the old horses and the wheels was too loud.
But that still tells us something. Mr. McGilden and the victim knew each other. So McGilden was lying, as I suspected. Boom, boom, boom.
I knew it wasn't going to take long before someone raised the alarm that bloke had been killed.
Yeah, you were quite right. The other passengers on the roof deck noticed very quickly.
So when the cabin came to a stop, McGilden told me to hide under the seat again. I climbed in and waited. The two coves came up from the top, rang off to get the coppers.
Yes, Mr. Fairplay and Mr. First?
Right, and after they gone, McGilden asked the driver to do him a favour.
A favor?
Now, then, fella, what I need you to do is take the coat off of mine, deposit it in a nearby pawnbroker. For your troubles, let's see now. I'll give you 10 guineas.
A nearby pawnbroker? You mean on Baker Street?
Yep, you got it. It was Windybanks. The coachee snapped up the money and ran off, popped this old coat fast as he could. So then there was no one left in the carriage. Mr. McGilden opened up the box under the seat and let me get out of there. But not without conditions.
I see. What were Mr. McGilden's conditions then? For letting you go free, I mean.
Not telling a soul, not for anything. About what I saw and what I heard. And there was something else as well.
Huh? There's more?
Yeah, this is the most important thing, he said.
I am sending the coachman a little errand for me with some small change in his hand. Now then, did you hear what I asked of him? Did you see anything at all, at all?
You asked him to go pop off your weasel, right?
Aye, the fiend's taken me overcoat to deposit with the pawnbroker's hereabouts. And I want you, lass, to take the redemption ticket for it. Do you understand?
What, you want me to have the ticket?
That's right, and I'll come fetch it from you later. Sometime within the next 2 months. You're to hang on to it until then, is it clear? And whatever you do, you don't lose it.
All right then.
And in case I might happen to be delayed at all, you're to go to the pawnbroker shop Windybank, so it is, and you're to extend the loan afore the 2 months is up. If you forget, the article will be forfeited, and any old fiend could come along and buy it.
Hey, but I ain't got that kind of brass.
Here's £5. That should be enough.
Oh,
Do we understand each other, lass? Don't try anything funny now. If you go against me...
yeah, I get it.
Good, and one more thing. In a few days from now, you'll be visited by the police, I've no doubt.
The coppers?
Aye, they'll come asking you to take the stand in court to testify as a witness. So let's just have a wee chat about that, shall we? What is it you might say, and what is it that you won't?
Oh, yeah. Oh. After he'd gone over it all, I picked it, got as far away from there as I could. I hid the pawnbroker's ticket in some bushes near the scene. I went to fetch it the next day once it got dark.
So McGill planned it and coerced Gina into giving false testimony.
I bet you're ready to string me up, eh? I lied. In a big old courtroom, I told some corkers. The thing is, he said he would make it so we couldn't live in the East End no more. That's what he threatened me with.
What?
A wicked man. He knew everything what went on in the back slums. He knew we had no one to look after us, and we was all just looking out for each other by getting together.
So you mean Mr. McGill would have...
In an heartbeat, he'd have a lot of us chased out of there if he wanted. And then where we'd have gone, eh? Nowhere, that's fair. So, I didn't have a choice.
Thank you, Gina, for telling us everything.
But, I'm in for it now, eh? Go on, admit it, you must be livid.
Well, you can make amends by doing me a simple favor.
A favour? What?
Sign the representation papers for tomorrow's trial.
Eh?
If you don't actually want me to represent you in court, you can rip it up later. But we need to have that paperwork or we can't investigate. The police won't let us.
Investigate what?
The scene of the incident last night. Mr. Sholmes was shot, you see.
You what? Early's having a big operation right now, Ginny. Is it bad? Is he gonna be alright? Sholmes gonna be alright? Right?
That's why I want to investigate, for Mr. Sholmes' sake as much as anything.
Oh, right. So what you're saying is if I sign that bit of paper, everyone's happy. Is that it?
Something like that. Miss Susato? Yes, of course. I have the representation papers here.
I don't need no one to stick up for me, though. No lawyer or nothing.
Yeah, you do. Poor girl.
Poor Ginny. She seems so lonely.
Ginny's representation papers have been entered in the court record. Well, at least this should mean we can investigate the scene at Windybanks now.
Yes. And perhaps we can come back to visit Ginny when we're done there.
Oh, I suspect we can. I feel like we finally cracked Gina. She's opened up to us at last. And now I have her representation papers. No one else knows just what a responsibility that is. Anyway, for now it means Inspector Gregson can't stop us from investigating at Windy Banks. Although, something tells me he's not going to be happy about it. Oh, fun. Alright. We'll make that a quickie. Thanks, everybody, in the future. We'll continue the case soon. Have a lovely night, everybody. Bye-bye.